I was scouted to join a playthrough of Minecraft's hardest skyblock mod pack with 31 other players, and I was invited to lead 3 other players as a veteran. The only issue is that I am not really a veteran, so join me on my quest as I attempt to get as far as I can in star technology before the server begins. Last episode, we set up some slightly less garbage infrastructure, including but not limited to moving some machines around and making slightly bigger machines. Since last episode, though, I've set up some even more slightly less garbage infrastructure and moved the monstrosity that I call the Spaghetti Chemline Monster. This episode, though, you will not guess what's about to happen. That's right, we're making more infrastructure. And Nichrome Quails. Yeah, those two, I guess. Quick, if you want to follow progress and help out in real time, head over to the StarTech Discord and find the cooked or not cooked thread in the screenshots category. And subscribe to not miss the next episode. So, if I want to do ore processing, I'm going to need a way to output my ores into the system. Now, there's 2 possible, ways to do this, okay? Either I put a storage bus over here in this big storage room, right, and I continue going with what I have here, or I make a separate subnet, I guess, that can interface with the normal one. And I use that, and I use storage cells, and I partition them, which is something I've never actually done before with AE. I've never partitioned a storage cell, but I am interested in trying that out. So for now, I'm just going to set up the storage bus normally. And once I have a proper system, I'll probably rework everything into an ME-based one. But now I should have access to all of my dusts and such from my storage. Look at that. So the thing I want to do with ore processing is that I don't want to use the OPFs. The OPFs, they eat up a lot of sodium persulfate, and I don't think I can keep up with that. So ore proc is going to be kind of interesting. Mainly, this is because of the fact that I will not be using the OPFs. I have figured that making the sodium persulfate is going to be the main bottleneck in ore processing, and I'd rather avoid it as much as possible, which is why I'm going to be making my ore processing setup with the process of macerate, ore wash, thermal centrifuge, macerate in order to get the most byproducts. So we're going to be making 4 macerators here. One of them is going to be intaking all of these 6 ores here from the void extractor. Another one is going to be intaking the geodes, well, the cut geodes from the cutter. We're going to need to make a cutter as well. And then the other 2 are going to be for overflow, as well as all of the ores that we are going to get from the molten mixture once that starts processing in EV. You know what? Since we're going to need a bunch of machines, let's just go ahead and make 16 multi-block kits. And also, for some reason, the program circuit cards are working now. They decided that they were going to actually start working properly, so that's cool. I'm not mad at all that I struggled with it for a couple hours yesterday, and it resulted in me basically giving up on them, but now all of a sudden it worked. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. What are you talking about? So while we're waiting for all of the multi-blocks to be done, as well as all the blue steel frames, let's make some more blue steel. And let's also start tackling the alloys that we're going to need for the other 2 machines, which is silicon bronze for the thermal centrifuge, and what is this? Hydronallium for the large ore washer. So hydronallium is looking pretty cheap. And what about silicon bronze? Oh, yeah, no, these are really cheap. Okay, I am genuinely confounded and confused here, because the frame recipe for blue steel, right? If I put it in, it doesn't require any circuits, right? Because I have the program circuit card. But if I put in the blue steel casing one, now it wants circuits. Even though the casing also has it has the circuit included. This one also has the circuit included, so I don't know what the problem is. Casings are done, but I am kind of doubtful that I'll have, this will be enough for like a full set of 4 macerators. So how do I want to set this up? I want them to be quad shared. It'll save me extra casings. But do I just want to send everything through these 4? I think I do, actually. The ore grinding is basically free for power, so I could have a power hatch on the back here that's quad shared, right? Because if I have an HV power hatch, that would be pretty solid. And then I could have Just 2 output buses, that's fine. Let's also not forget the cutter. Let's go ahead and make it before we forget. Oh, we're out of blue steel again. I could have sworn I crafted... Yeah, I made another 2 stacks of dust. Let's make another 2 stacks of dust. I should also automate the EBF and the vacuum freezers. I should also maybe make more EBFs, having a set for, like, specifically titanium, and then having a set for, like, everything else, and having a set for, like, steel. I think that might be a better play here. While I wait for the extra blue steel to cook, now that I think of it, since I'm making the large cutter, I am going to need some extra stuff for the multi-block. So that's beryllium bronze casing. So why don't we set up a mixer recipe for that? Okay, again with the programmed circuits not working properly. Unless, oh, this one does not have a card. Okay, hold on. Also, now that I think of it, I am going to need maintenance hatches on all of these. I bought a buses and hatches pack just because I am so lazy and I honestly don't know what else I would spend my coins on. I mean, I might do solar in the eventual future because it's, you know, it's the theta thing. I might want to check that out, so I'm not gonna, you know, buy the daylight cycle stuff, and even then, it's 16 coins to change a daylight cycle, right? What else am I realistically gonna spend my stuff on? I guess I could get my, like, extra travel anchors, but I'm pretty sure those are easily craftable at this stage. Yeah, no, these are exceedingly cheap at this level. Like, yeah, I don't need those at all. Okay, now it's time to figure out why these things are not forming. Did I forget a block somewhere? I don't think I did forget a block anywhere. There are at least 5 blue steel casings on it. There is a maintenance hatch. Oh, wait, I am an idiot. Ah, see, I hadn't turned them into the multi-blocks. Perfect. Now we have this big thing, which is going to be our macerator. It's going to take, at most, a 1/4 amp of HV, which is absolutely crazy to me. So next up is going to be the large cutter. I think I'm only going to put 1 in here because the geodes are realistically the only thing I need to cut. So that's going to be pretty chill. And then after that, I want to go ahead and tackle the ore washer and thermal centrifuge. Let's go ahead and let's make some hydronallium. I'm going to be making 2 stacks of it. It's asking for circuits again. Okay. There we go. Let's make some more circuit cards. Throw them in here. Make sure that everything has a circuit card so that there is no more confusion as to whether or not you should use a circuit card in your crafting. There we go. All of these have their cards. Should be good. So now we are currently mixing up the hydronallium and the silicon bronze. And so I will be back with you guys once all of that is processed because that is going to take a while. All of a sudden, my storage system is fried and it doesn't want to work. Oh, now it's working! Why do you forsake me, Star Technology? Anyways, our beryllium bronze is now finally done, and we're also cooking up all the hydronallium and the silicon bronze for the other machines. So I'm going to be double sharing this cutter, so we're going to have to make 2 of them. And make ourselves 2 advanced cutters. Now the large cutter. Make our blue steel saw blades. Let's also go ahead and make ourselves some pumps. Just stainless steel pipes, which, oh my god, we're out of plates. Let's make 1,000. God, I love my auto crafting system. And there's the pumps, which means we can comfortably just come on in and craft both of these right here. Alright, pipe casings and stainless steel gearbox casings, which I already have from the old ore processing factories. Go ahead and throw these on in, and then put on our main core blocks, and now we gotta rotate them. Alright, so now it's time for the buses and the hatches. So the hatch is gonna be 1 because it needs lubricant to run. Now what I wonder is the large cutter, cutting like a geode. I don't think these recipes ever take more than 2 amps, so I could just share the hatch as well. Oh, I don't have any spare hatches. I thought I had 3 from the... Oh no, because I'm overclocking the LCR, that's why. Okay, well, time to make some HV energy hatches. Let's make a auto crafting recipe for this. Oh, and this is a assembler recipe, isn't it? Yeah. Need black steel wire and fine wire at that. Let's go ahead and make a bunch of that. There we go. A couple of the hatches are now done, so we can go ahead and throw them onto the back here. Then let's not forget maintenance hatches, which I definitely have in my inventory here. Yep, look at that. They were right in my inventory. There we go. That's perfect. Now we've got the input hatch, the energy hatch, input bus, and now we want our output bus right here. Now these things can run. Not completely just yet. We are going to need some extra machines for it, but before continuing to the next set of machines, I want to set up a subnet inside of that area. And it's going to require me an ME drive. I'm also going to have to make some 16K storage cells is what I'm going to go for here. So let's see if I can't just automate this. 16K, and then a 4K, and then a 1K. ME assembler, go ahead, throw those recipes in there. So now, can I craft 10 16K storage cells? I need more soldering alloy and I need more fine tin wire. Okay. Wait, hold on. I could just make a automatic recipe for soldering alloy and 1K storage cells. We don't have the fine tin wire just yet. It's because of our throughput. We have a problem with that. I'm not sure how to get proper exports from the machines perfectly, but we'll have to figure it out. Regardless, bam, we are now crafting several 1K storage, not 1K, we're crafting several 16K storage components. All of this is going to run and make all of the circuits I need and start dumping in SkySteel to make all the stuff. Okay, so we're going to need a controller in here, and then we're going to need a drive on top. I'm also going to make a cell workbench. Okay, that should be pretty simple. A cell workbench, we're going to have it on the mainnet. And now from here, I can put these storage cells into here and figure it out. Figure out how to partition them to have the store specific amounts. I do want a balance card, I think is what it's called. Equal distribution card, I think. Yeah, this is it. And then also an overflow destruction card. So let's just make some blank cards. Where are they? There they are. Oh, I'm out of Certus Skystone. I am out of Certus Skystone. Alright, let's make a recipe for it. Yeah, it's going to cost us a couple circuits. So now we can crush Skystone blocks into Skystone dust, and then extract Skystone dust into liquid Skystone. Now I've realized, if I can get the cards to work, it kind of won't matter that I have multiple interfaces on one machine. Actually, now that I think of it, it would matter because I have a limited amount of recipes in these. I can upgrade them right now, but I'm going to wait until I have ore proc set up to do that, so that I can just upgrade everything at once. While we wait for that, let's figure out how the other thing works. Let's figure out how the cell workbench and partitioning and all of that works. So 16K ME storage cell. And now we can put our cards in. Alright. So all I want really is the equal card and the overflow card. And then from here, I think this is just the, like what items can go into it. Alright, so crushed ore. I gotta figure out which ones I can actually get from my system here. Okay, there we go. So all of these are allowed into the storage. We're going to get an equal distribution card once everything is done crafting. But we're out of processors, and I'm waiting on the ME assembler to run that, aren't I? Yeah, we're still waiting on a lot of processors. Actually, now that I think of it, there is something else we can do while we wait. And that is make the other set of machines. The ore washers and the thermal centrifuge. Go ahead and real quick make our single blocks for all of the other machines. And I need canthal. Of course I do. And I'm out of chromium. Alright, chromium shortage dealt with. Canthal time. There we go. After a little bit of messing around with patterns, as I usually do, all of the ore washers and thermal centrifuges are done. So thermal centrifuge recipes take a little under 1 amp. So we're going to have 2 power slots here. We have energy hatches on the back. And then we're going to have a shared input bus in the front. And then 2 shared output buses on the sides. And then I also need an input hatch, which I can have shared for all machines on the back. And then on top of that, I'm going to need the maintenance hatches. There's 8 maintenance hatches, and we're going to leave the other 8 hulls for various other things. Alright, silicon bronze casings in hand. We're going to throw the machines over here. If I build it in front here, it's not going to obstruct anything over here. So that should be a good spot. And then I can just start throwing on all of the things I want to add. So it's probably going to have the same kind of system as the other one. Actually, I think I could put the input bus on the back here and the power in the front. because washed ores could go straight into the thermal centrifuge, unless... Because I want to be able to keep the pentlandite as a clean ore, because then that can be turned into platinum sludge in the future. I don't know how useful it is for platinum sludge, but it will be used. At least unless I am told otherwise by the comments. So, you know what? I could just have the cells be partitioned in a way that... Yeah, you know what? Since we have 10 cells, I'll just have one for the ores crushed, one for ores washed, and one for ores clean. And then we need another set of macerators now that I think of it. Okay, so this should be the structure. It doesn't require an input hatch, which is most definitely one of the things of all time. Right, hydronallium is done. And there we go. That is our large ore washers, and they are ready to work. So we're gonna have the controller here, because this will be a subnet. Actually, do I even need the control? I mean, the controller is power, but it is gonna be technically connected to the main net. It's gonna be connected over to the warehouse net, which I am inclined to move to here. Essentially extend this room into these two chunks, and then have that, the whole thing, or generation and processing in one area, and then I can also have like distillation stuff up top, and then also have the warehouse connected to this, maybe in like an extra chunk up there. So now we can go ahead and throw in a cell. Let's also get a flux point. So now this can be accessed. I would like to make a terminal. I am going to need me some computer screens, some monitors. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble that real quick with the glass panes that I have. There we go. So now we're going to be able to make a little terminal for this. And then we're also going to be able to use our ME covered cables as well. Storage can only contain ores for the time being. Now I need to figure out how to power these things without getting too much in the way. I think a 16 amp converter is probably going to be more than enough to handle the machines here. Most of them don't spend that much power. Okay, there's all of the power somewhat routed. And now I need me some interfaces, I believe. Are those the things that will allow me to just automatically input-output ores and stuff? I'll probably have to make these enlarged interfaces, now that I think of it. I probably have enough recipe slots for all of the ores that we're trying to wash, and all the stuff that we're trying to process, period. I'm pretty sure the interfaces work instantly, as opposed to the input and output buses that are not instant. Pretty sure they need acceleration cards, right, to work at a good speed, but the interfaces don't. So the enlarged interface, there we go. We should theoretically have the means to produce all of this stuff. Yes, I'm just gonna need some more glass. There we go, and these are assembler recipes. Take out the coil for now. Or I need silicon plates. Sure, man, we can do that. Yeah, it's 100 batch recipes for the silicon plates. Oh my god, that's huge. Anyways, let's make one enlarged pattern provider, and then let's make a couple enlarged interfaces. Yeah, let's make 8 of the big ones, and then interface, let's make like 16 of the small ones. Okay, I need more glass for that. And interface, 16 small ones. There we go. Alrighty then, now I guess we just gotta let the ME assembler do its work. Alright, rest of the silicon bronze casings, check. And now we pop on some multi-block upgrade kits. Bam, 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 bam. And so now here comes the part where we have to start sorting stuff. And then also, before I forget, I'm actually going to have to, partition and do all of the other cards. Makes me wonder, where are my cells? Oh, they're in the canner. Of course they are. You know what I'm going to do? Is I am going to cut out this section, and I'm going to go ahead and transfer over all of these. I'm going to transfer over all of that over to here so that it can be on the same subnet as the ore processing. Okay, well, we lost one of the influix cables, but that's fine. We can put this over here. Storage bus, grab that. Can I priority up we go? Priority up that. We're already intaking lots of ores. Question is, did I forget to include copper? I think I forgot to include copper in the partitioning of this cell. Yeah, or could I? There we go. Now the copper should come through properly, exactly as planned. And now I gotta deal with all this stuff. Now, where would I come out? Right in the bottom there. Let's have this run along here. Because if I need a ME interface or bus or whatever for all of these machines. I can just connect them like this. And then the shortest connection from it is here. And now I gotta fill up, let's put away all of our buses and cells and stuff for a little bit. There we go. And now I can start to lay down some drawers of various ore dusts. Okay, there we go. So now I need to, not the interface, I need the bus and the cables. Storage bus like that. Now, technically, it should be able to pull, yep, it's pulling all of the quartz and all of the other stuff into the storage, which is good. Now we can also link all of these as processed dusts. And now, yeah, we can see all of our dusts and our ores all in one place. And now is going to be the time to actually start setting these things up. Acceleration card, there we go. So now we can import out of here with an Excel card. And then we can have interfaces on each of these. And then interfaces here and here. And then interfaces here and here. Then I forgot that I have the buses and stuff there. Mega and a normal there. You know what? These cables are actually kind of intrusive at this height. So what I'm gonna do, take these out, and then let's just run the cable down here. Oh, it's on the same level as the wires. Okay. That's fine. We can have a little bit of spaghetti. So there we go. Wires are a little less intrusive. And now, if I input raw gold here, yeah, there we go. Oh, stone dust. I completely forgot about it. Go grab a drawer, get in, upgrade, a couple upgrades for it. And now let's grab some stone dust from main storage. Bam. And then lock it. And then link it. All right, let's get all of our raw ores processing then, shall we? All right. Ore washers, that is going to require water. And same over here for the interface here, the input of the geodes. Let's just go ahead and let's stock our geodes into this. Now, nothing is stopped up there. I am still blocked up when it comes to this. I have yet to fix this. I'm probably going to fix that sometime this episode. And then also, none of my geodes are actually going into the system. So yeah, let's go ahead and fix that. Actually, you know what? Genuinely, I don't even need to use the laser thing. Considering these, what are they called? Rock filtrators are so slow, I can probably just do this. Now, considering that I'm going to be producing distilled water in here, probably going to use just an HV distiller. So we can go ahead and make an HV pump. Thought I had made a bunch of steel rotors. Am I wrong? I guess I was wrong. So there's an advanced distillery. And now we can grab ourselves an aqueous accumulator and some leaves and some water and go and set that up. Yeah, let's add to one of the cards partition. I need a fluid card for that, don't I? Okay, you know what? Let's take one of our other fluid cells. So yeah, the distillery is going to go on top of here. And it's going to be outputting to its left. And then on top of it, up here is where the accumulator is going to go. And it's going to send water down into the distillery here. There we go, distilled water. And then I wonder if an interface could work. Yeah, I think so. Now if I put a fluid cell, there we go. So now we've got the distilled water going in. And now I can just go distilled water. Hey, now our cutters are working. 4 parallels. Now once this eventually catches up and is able to fill up the cutter with the distilled water, because I'm pretty sure it is able to keep up with the cutter working at max speed. Oh yeah, I have no doubts here. We're going to start getting through all of our geodes. This is going to start going through more gravel and sand, and that means I'm going to have to fix up this setup. Okay, the thermal centrifuges are starting to get full, which means it's going to be time to start getting these ores going. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to replace these output buses with just interfaces. Yeah, it should be a lot faster now. Yeah, I don't know why I wanted to use the buses like that, the output buses. Alright, well, I think we should fix our distilled water problem. And we're going to be using a distillation tower for that. And that is expensive in EV circuits. And I have exactly enough to make one. Okay. So from what I understand, I can just make the thing out of stainless steel casings, and the height, at least for now, doesn't matter because I'll be using it for water. So there's the base block. Look at this correctly. All I really need is to put I'll put it over here. Bam. There we go. Enable batching. And now I can probably just get rid of this. Now we can lock this hatch to distilled water and throw on an interface, which should mean faster distilled water. So we're still not producing enough distilled water. Is there a maximum on the energy hatches? No. So I could replace that with the second hatch and have it run EV. Actually, I kind of do like that idea. Let's do that. There we go. So now we've got double batching on that. We've doubled our water production again. Now we're able to run... We're still not able to run anything. Okay, so I've just finished setting all of the interfaces for the processing for now. And I am still kind of concerned about the water, but I'm hoping that it's just like a backlog thing, and eventually we'll be able to reduce this backlog into something manageable. So I suppose we could just put a little break on this for now, considering that this is all mostly done. And now let's bring our attention back to over here. Okay, there we go. So now we are producing 4 dust per second, which is backlogging to 1.6 sand per second, and then we have another 4 sand, so 5.6 sand per second, which is backlogging again into 3.2 gravel per second, which means that we theoretically have more than enough to keep everything running at max speed. So yeah, as I was saying before I got sidetracked, the next thing that I would have wanted to do was to deal with the molten ore mixture, but I'm out of EV circuits, so I'm going to have to craft more of those. And in the meantime, to craft more EV circuits, I do need a better clean room, which I will likely be building out up to like maybe the size of the chunk. Or, see here, the issue with the clean room that I'm facing here is I don't have A2 access to it, but I can probably make a wireless... what are they called? Wireless connect. And that takes MV, like the high tier MV components. So I'm gonna need a pair of these. And then I'll be able to automate the inside of clean room. So I'll be able to do clean room recipes. So it'll be the advanced cutter. I'll make the advanced 2 circuit assembler. Yeah, I'll make this thing once I have a few more EV circuits. And then I'll also need the laser engraver so that I can do the phosphorus doped boules. Yeah, so I can do my phosphorus dope wafers. And I'm going to need probably a lot of these, now that I look at it. Pretty sure I have some of these lenses, but some of these I probably don't have. So let's first of all grab ourselves an MV converter, MV energy 1 amp converter, and then let's grab our circuit assembler. I don't want it to fall into the void. Grab our MV circuit assembler, and let's move it over into the clean room once again. Though, it seems I might be having power struggles, but all of my generators are running at max. Well, this generator is running at max speed, all the others kind of aren't. Is there like a transfer limit problem here? Yeah, you know what? Let's just make 100 buckets of soldering alloy. And now let's make ourselves some microprocessor supercomputers. Alright, I have 11 boards. We're gonna make 10. Make 10 of these. Yes, I have enough. Okay, thank goodness. Let me also just go ahead and switch these out for interfaces. It'll be just so much easier this way, much less of a hassle. So there's the wires check, and now I need blue alloy. That's the electrotine stuff, right? Okay, let's automate that as well. So bam, blue alloy, and that requires electrotine. Bam as well. Okay. So now as the bolts start to come out, I can just throw that in. What do you mean requires a clean room? This is a clean room. Ah, it's contaminated. Anyways, our EV circuits are going to start coming out, and that'll let me eventually make some distillation towers, as well as our HV circuit assembler. And there you go. That's 10 more microprocessor supercomputers. So I'd be remiss if I actually put out yet another episode of Star T, and I didn't actually do any progress. So we're going to be upgrading the coils on the EBF. How does that sound? And so for that, we're going to need nichrome ingots, which are the only way we can get them right now is this recipe with the chromium and the nickel. And thanks to our amazing new ore processing setup, we have 3,000 nickel dust. So now I'm pretty sure we can just chuck this all into a mixer. We can just chuck all of this in on circuit 2, and this will eventually work its way through all of that, make it into nichrome dust, and then we can feed it into the EBF. Now, while that is happening, we also need to prepare borosilicate glass. And borosilicate glass is much of the same. It's glass, dust, and boron, and so that's going to be another resource we're going to have to put through some furnaces, and then we'll be able to make our coils. Oh, voltage tier is too low. We're going to have to upgrade to HV then, and I only have 1 energy hash. Looks like I'm going to need me 7 more of these, and I need coils. So while that's running, I'm going to need me an HV converter, 16 amps. Oh boy, I think I'm going to run out of aluminum as well, but it'll be worth it. Those nichrome coils are going to be great, and I'm probably going to scale up my EBFs after I get my coils. But that'll probably be an off-camera activity. I'm actually going to use this as an opportunity to just reset and move my EBF to somewhere that's easier to scale it. Because I am going to want to put like extra EBFs down so that I can automate certain metals. And like automating metals, I don't think I'm gonna like have them fully passive. I want to do that thing where you have like a minimum of them in storage. Like I want to keep a stock of them. I'm not sure how that stuff works. I'm gonna have to look it up. But like, I am curious about the stocking system. So I want the EBS to be like sideways. Okay, yeah, exactly, perfect. So my power hatches go like this, and then the input is in the middle, and then the 2 outputs like this. And then after that, it's the coils. And then after that, I'll just go ahead and throw maintenance hatches on top and bottom like this. Fluid input, and the mufflers go next to them. So there we go. We've got a functional, and now I need some wires, lumium. And now I can just stick a flux plug, a flux point on it. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot of this stuff considering I need 8 per coil, and I'm planning on making more EBFs after this using the nichrome coils. So we're gonna have to make a lot of the stuff. Good thing it's a lot cheaper and easier to make than Canthal. I'm talking specifically chromium-wise. We tend to have very little of the stuff, and I don't think it's a byproduct of like any normal processing here. Oh, it can be processed out of rubies. Anyways, now we'll actually be able to produce a little bit of passive chromium then. So luckily for us, the borosilicate glass can just be smelted normally. It doesn't require an EBF, so we can just throw it in the create smelter like this. And then we'll be able to start to get to work on all of the other components of the nichrome coils. So the borosilicate needs to be turned into foils. Wow, it does a whole stack of batches at once. I'm going to go ahead and also throw in a bunch of these stainless steel foils. We're going to throw in 4 stacks of stainless, and that'll give us a bunch of foils that we're going to need. And then we are also going to need a bit of liquid aluminum, 1 per nichrome foil block, so that's going to be pretty cheap. Yeah, we can go ahead and just chuck this all into the extractor for now. So while we wait for all of the nichrome to smelt, I do want to expand this system a bit, and it's not going to be the molten ore thing. That's probably going to be next episode. What I do want to mess around with is the macerators. I want to add another row of macerators. I want to add a 5th and a 6th macerator, because right now it's receiving output from 4 large thermal centrifuges, which are producing 4 per batch of 5, and this is also consuming 4 per batch of 5, so it doesn't really have a lot of the time it needs to process through the raw ores, which results in basically always having a backlog. So I'm going to need me some more blue steel casings, and I'm also going to need me another macerator. I'm actually going to need 2 macerators. I'm dumb. There we go, multi-block upgrade kits. Bam, like that. I need 2 maintenance hatches, and just shove all this back up into here. I genuinely have like no clue what I'm doing right now. I wanted to be able to have like all of the inputs go to the specific like area, the specific set. I don't know how to put it. Essentially, the megas are going to go here, put on our old configs, and we can put on our old interfaces like this. Right, so now all 6 of them are running. Okay, well, that was a bust, but at least I tried. And we'll have some memory cards for next time we want to move the setup. Okay, so there's a way to speed up the EBS, and it's called nitrogen. And for that, I think the best way to do it, at least for now, is going to be a gas collector. Because the higher tier one is, I think, it might be EV tier. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, it's EV. So the large gas collector is an EV recipe. Like, after setting up, like, the ME system here, the little subnet, I genuinely think this setup sucks. I think I've finally been convinced this setup is kind of ass, and I'm probably going to change it again off camera. But regardless, it works for now. It works for now, and I think that's all that matters. Back to the project of the gas collector. Let's go ahead and make some pipes for the pumps. Okay, so gas collector done. And now what I'm going to need is a centrifuge to be able to process all of that air. And yeah, now I'm just going to put it on this just on the back of here for now. Now we can just pull out of here whenever we need nitrogen, and then we're going to use that to boost our EBFs and have the speed go up by like 20%, I think, which is somewhat substantial when considering like the fact that it's a minute. The recipe's a minute, so if I take out like maybe 15 seconds of it, it'll be a lot faster. Go ahead, throw on a drum, throw some nitrogen in said drum, and now let's set the circuit to 2. So now once the 65-second recipe is through, you'll see it'll show a new like 40-second recipe. Yeah, look at that, 44. So it's a little more than 25%, which I'm very happy about. So as long as we're producing nitrogen gas, we'll be able to keep this running. I will eventually, once I scale up my EBFs, I'll be able to just automate my nitrogen. I'll just have everything automatically deposited in these. Because it turns out nitrogen is actually just the global, like, speed up smelting fluid. And all of the other fluids that you can input into here are for specific recipes. So, like, oxygen for steel, for example. Or, like, all of the exotic metals. So that'll speed the nichrome up just a little bit. I believe we're halfway. We're a little over halfway to the amount we need. Which makes me think I should probably just start making the coils. So now, let's go ahead and encode a recipe for this. And then encode a recipe for the nichrome wire. This is a assembler recipe. And we should have everything that we need. So if I just put a bunch of nichrome in the storage, we'll be able to see how much I need. So I want to do 38 coils, which I'm pretty sure is the amount I need. I'm missing 110 nichrome ingots. Finally, I'm missing a single ingot. Okay, sure, man. Cool, thank you. Luckily for you guys, and thanks to the power of editing, you don't have to wait like I did. And now you get to watch me replace everything with the nichrome coils. 42 coils. Did I miscount somewhere? Yeah, I need to make 4 more coils. Well, good thing I made more than enough nichrome. Alright, well, 4 more coils it is. And there you have it. Nichrome. Nichrome coils. Now that is absolutely amazing. I am rather exhausted. Before I forget, I should put... So, yeah. Nichrome is basically all we did today. But I'm hoping that you guys find next episode a little more interesting. Especially since that'll be when we finally tackle titanium and EV. Oh, and did I mention platinum?